Even that old Bobcat's got to eat. And so many nights just going to bed worried maybe he's going to get in the chicken house that night. Maybe I need to be sitting in the tree that night, just worrying about stuff. Couple that with just watching folks on social media from a distance and folks I've known in the past or whatever, and kind of see them get all up in arms. I used to do the same thing about whatever little issues going on, whether it be politics or something on the news, or maybe one of the family members. They're just getting all out of sorts and staying up at night worried about that stuff. Just stressing. That old Bobcat ain't giving a second thought to whether or not I'm worried about him coming back. Chances are them old boys up in Washington ain't worried about what you're thinking either. And we're carrying it around like a bag of rocks when we could be living. Somebody asked me something the other day about politics, and used to I could have told you the subset of the bill that was up for grabs, and whatever we was talking about I had no clue, and was happy I didn't. Of course, you got to be responsible and pay attention, but moderation in all things, the old good book says. So this old farm has taught me a lot of patience and calmness, I guess. So I'm blessed with that. Talking about that, a couple old monks were walking back one evening from the village back to the monastery, and it'd been raining, a few puddles on the road. And they rounded a curve, and there was a beautiful young lady standing there, kind of stuck. She couldn't cross the puddles. So I stood there a minute, and the elder monk walked over and kind of scooped her up, carried her across the puddle, and sat her down, and they left her there and walked on about their business, got to the monastery. Set that young monk to thinking. He couldn't figure it out, and that evening, before prayer, he went up to the elder monk. He said, "Brother, I have to ask you, today on that road, we're not supposed to touch a woman. It's our vow. And you picked her up and set her on the other side." The elder monk looked at him and he said, "Well, I did. But the difference is I left her there in the road, and you're still carrying her." Pretty good old proverb. He said, when you're walking, walk. When you're talking, talk. Outside of that, just let it be. I think we could all do that a little bit better. What you think? I'm sure trying, and I ain't even gonna think about that Bobcat tonight. Just maybe a big old bowl of Bluebell. I'm wondering when them peas will be ready, or the watermelons. But I reckon I might as well not worry about that either. It'll come when it's time.